This show, as always, is free to you. We only want you to pay us if you like the show. We don't make money off ads. Get in there, pay us money if you like the show. You'll get the open bet sheet. You'll get to support the show. And we really need money. So get in there and pay us money. Okay, let's start the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
Welcome to Parlay Pursuits. It's been 2 months since we started the experiment, and as you can see, it's not going very well. What can we say, guys? We started our season 5 May 9th, and the challenge this year was to put $1,000 into the sportsbook account and treat it like life points in a video game. And if you ran out of your life points, then you lost. And the consequences were that if you hit 0, you have to pay the other two, $100. And then if you hit 0, you also can only bet on your perfect parlay or a triple B certified pick for the rest of the time to try to win yourself back into the black. So as you can see, I hit 0 when my remaining amount of money was had to be placed on my perfect parlay, and then we'll get into how the night went, but essentially, I'm in the negative now. Alex is at 0. Dan is down almost $650. And I just puked before the show into my own hands and then had to wipe it on myself and then take my clothes off and put them in the wash. That's why we're about 30 minutes late from our normal broadcast time. And, I'm feeling bad physically. I'm feeling bad emotionally. I'm feeling bad spiritually. I'm feeling bad financially. Dan, Alex, I can't even talk. I'm going to throw up again. I can't even talk.
Yeah, I'm feeling terrible myself. Put my nuts on the table. They got smashed. Danny's the winner. Danny the bet man. He wins it all. 3 months into the whole contest. How does that feel, Dan?
Not great. I would have liked to have won something above $1,000, but I guess I could just say I'm not the biggest loser. So I guess that makes me the winner. But that being said, we're not done yet. The season goes till May 9th. So you guys are not out of it. I mean, I shouldn't be the one pumping you.
No. Competition.
You guys should have your own gumption to say, hey, I'm not out of this. You're not getting a neutral place.
The competition's over. There's 2 men out. There's only 1 dog left in the fight, and it's the little doggy. We might as well just throw this whole thing away, forget it ever happened, and just go back to normal.
Well, I'll tell you what, fellas. I, not knowing where you guys actually were in the competition, but just being a man of myself, thinking, this is pathetic. I'm down to 352. This coming week, I need to just lay it all on the line and bet it all. Okay? I played it very safe, as we all know. But going into this weekend, I just thought, you know what? Playing it safe has done me a hill of beans. So why not just go all in on the jackpot? My compadres here, they're at 0. So what's the difference? Let's go all the way in, 352. Into the sports books, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a chalky card. I think there's, 1 or 2 landmines that we have to avoid. But besides that, you play your cards right, fellas. We're all back in this.
So, I took my 1,000 to 2,000, back down to 1,000, from 1,000 up to 4,000, from 4,000 back down to 2,000, and I was the only one who actually broke beyond the $1,000 mark. I mean, Alex was up to like 1,200 or something at one point. But nobody ever got to 2,000 except me, who got to 3,900, and then I started to make mistakes from there. We talked a lot about this in the previous shows, about like what lessons we've learned and stuff like that from this kind of thing. I'm sorry, guys. I literally am like feeling sick to my fucking stomach right now. So but don't worry, because I'm with the Lord again, guys. I've given up all vices. Well, almost all vices, but I've given up most vices, and I'm going to do it fast because I'm just having so much indigestion. My stomach is, I'm really worried that I have some serious health issues. I think I need to see like a real doctor. I haven't been to a doctor in like 10 years. And my eyes were red. My vision was blurred. I was throwing up. am, I'm just, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I'm down minus 130. Like I said, I've been as high as almost $4,000 during this last 2 months. So it's been a whirlwind. But what was very interesting about this last weekend was that I had 10 cents left in my account. So I had not hit zero yet. I'm about to throw up again. Sorry. I put the 10 cents on my perfect parlay, right? The one that I gave out on the show. And I was, if you guys go back, I picked Thomas Peterson, Luana Carolina, Trey Ogden, Miranda Maverick, Cody Gibson, Hyder Emil, Doohoo Choi. And so the first 7 fights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 fights, I was perfect, and my 10-cent bet would have only paid $134 or something, right? So if I bet $10, I would have been on track for a $13,000 potential perfect parlay, right? But I didn't have. But I was so. And now, like, guys, it's only me there, right? It's only me with the sports book. Like, I could have done any number of things and just never told you guys. But I am actually like true blue, like an honest person who respects more than anything a code, right? A constitution, a code, rules. Like, I believe that this podcast is like the most honorable thing like that I have. Like, I will not ever besmirch my good name when it comes to the sacred trinity that we have here, right? So I said, if it is to be, if you hit the perfect parlay with a 10-cent bet, that almost would have made me more proud to have taken the 10 cents to $130 something, to have added a second perfect parlay to my trophy case, and to have done it with my back absolutely against the wall. I thought that it would be so inspirational to the viewing audience that it would have been almost worth, not winning an extra 13 grand, right? But, meaning if I had bet $10, like if I had gone over my limit. But the rule was that you can't go over your limit until, you hit zero. And then when you do that, it has to be on Triple P certified picks only, right? So once my perfect parlay went kaput with Cody Durden, was that who it was? Yeah, it was Cody Durden. When it went kaput after, and who was looking great, by the way. Cody Durden, nothing to be ashamed of. You were looking fucking phenomenal. We'll talk about that fight because it's one of the few that I watched. But that's the other thing. So I was at my mom's having a swim day with my daughter and my fiance. I'm engaged, by the way, everybody. I'm engaged. And we were having this fun day in the pool. I had to drive home, so I'm driving home 2 hours, and I wasn't watching the fights in the car. I wasn't listening to the fights in the car. I was like, I'll just, I didn't really care. I was like, I'll watch when I get home. And, I get home, I check, and my perfect parlay is intact. And Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva was the first fight I was able to watch. And, of course, dude,
that's always how it goes. You have an awesome parlay. You're not watching the fights. You get home, and the second you get home, knocked out. The second you walk in, the second your ass hits the sofa. It always happens.
It's like, I wouldn't be inclined to naturally think that superstitiously, but it's funny because every other gambler on the planet will tell you that, like, that is a thing. And then experientially, anecdotally, I experienced that. So it's like, hey, I get it, everybody. I get it. It's just superstition. But it's also 100% true. You know what I mean? It's also the truth. So, yeah, I jinxed myself I should have just not watched, and I probably would have hit the perfect parlay and then some. But so Alex and I, we were playing blackjack by the pool at my mom's house, and I turned like $50 into, like, by the time I ended up leaving Alex, even after you left, Alex, I was still playing. It was like I was at like $130. So once my perfect parlay blew up, I said, okay, let me throw a parlay together on the Triple P certified picks that I can bet on with my 130. And Kurchewski was another guy, Kaden Kurchewski. What a fucking moron, man.
Dude, pulling guillotine. Dude, that was painful to watch.
Jumping guillotine, going for crazy submissions instead of just getting position. Meanwhile, every time he shot for a takedown, he went through homeboy like a hot knife through butter. I mean, the guy's from Louisiana. He's old as shit. And hearing that guy's son screaming the whole time drove me up a wall. You guys know I normally will mute the commentary, but for some odd reason, I had this fight. I was like actually watching it. But dude, hearing that little boy screaming, I was like, oh yeah, judges are definitely gonna give it to him because this is the ultimate fatherhood championship, and these judges, we're in the apex, so they have to look these people, the judges have to look these people in the eye as they leave, so they're gonna give it to him, even though Kaden Karczewski should have kind of won. I think. I mean, like, you could have given it to him. I don't know why, like, it's so crazy to think that that's not a robbery, but anyway, so I'm down -130. I'm in the red if you can read that, but I'm not like entirely like unconfident that I won't claw my way back into the positive. And then, the way I look at it is like, now I'm in Survivor Redemption Island, right? We were playing a game of Survivor, and now I've been sent to Redemption Island, and you can still, I wanted to look up actually famous survivors. Hold on. You guys talk about your night. Alex, you watched the first 7 fights, so why don't you take us through some of those highlights? Tim, did you not watch any of the fights either?
No, I watched.
You watched? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Muhammad Usman sucks. Bad. Very bad. He's a very bad fighter. He let Thomas Peterson go out there and look like Floyd Mayweather, fighting behind his jab and just boxing the shit out of him, putting him on, when Mo Usman gets hit and he's like, he was doing a lot of that action. Thomas Peterson whooped his ass. I was hoping there would be like a little nepotism robbery or something of that nature to keep me in the game. After that, Luana Carolina, absolute domination, smother fest. Pudilova stinks, doesn't have a ground game, I guess. I thought she was like known for ground game, no?
Man, hold on real quick. Survivor. How did I forget this? I'm a Survivor head. Season 22 of Survivor. Boston Rob Mariano sent to Redemption Island. And by the way, not just sent to Redemption Island. Rob, who found love with his precious Amber on Survivor. Rob Mariano competed in the game of Survivor 4 times, a record. And Rob Mariano, in season 22, was sent to Redemption Island. He worked his way back from Redemption Island, and he got the win in the finals. He won. He was the survivor. So I'm feeling a lot like, I got a hat on too. It doesn't say Boston. It says KK, Kaden Karczewski, that's kind of ironic. But no, I am going to win like Boston Rob. That's what you have in store for me, God. God, you work in ways I know not of. Ye works in ways ye know not of. I am going to win from Redemption Island. That's the destiny. That's the story that was meant to be told here. I feel better now. Okay. My stomach is feeling better too. Anyway. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Pudilova versus Carolina, Dan. Absolute snore fest. Jump in on any of these fights that you have any pressing opinions on. Trey Ogden.
I think we all thought that Pudilova was Teresa Bleda, maybe, or like a short, little, stocky wrestling girl. That's what I thought. I had Carolina either way. I was like, oh, like the first couple seconds I saw Pudilova jab, I was like, oh shit, she's fast. She's faster than Carolina. This was bad. I was completely the wrong fighter I'm betting on. But no, she carried the day. She did her job. So there we go. Good on that.
With a broken foot nonetheless.
Oh, with a broken foot. Insane. Awesome.
Trey Ogden versus Loic Radovic. Trey Ogden almost gave it up in the 3rd round. That was a close one. It got a little dicey there for a little bit, but he held it together, ended up getting the win. I loved this one. I was on Trey Ogden. It wasn't my most confident pick in the world, but I knew if he was going to get it done, it was going to look a lot like that.
So this one completely destroyed me. I think I had like 2 parlays after this one. I had Loic and damn near everything. I had 2 parlays, one for $90,000, one for $10,000. Okay. And they weren't, what's the term? They wouldn't cancel each other out. So it was possible I'd win 100K. Man, Loic, what you think the Tajiki Warrior wouldn't be so easily taken down by Trey Ogden? Dude, that second round, it was the worst fight because it had just the amount of moments to give me a little morsel of hope. But at the same time, it's like, he's not going to get the win. But like the second round, he's charging forward. He's throwing strikes. But he's throwing strikes like with both feet in the air. It's obviously he's going to get his ass taken down. man, that was a rough one. That was one where, Danny the Betman was up out of his seat screaming at the TV. But yeah, it's so funny how like one leg into a parlay for 90K and it gets done. You're like, holy shit, am I going to win 90,000? And the second leg wins. You're only 2 legs in for a fucking 11 fight parlay here. 2 legs in? I'm alive for 90,000. Like that's a great feeling. It's almost so good that even if you don't get it, which you're inevitably not going to get it, that feeling alone in that first 30 minutes of the broadcast, it's almost enough. But
Dan, I was in the race
after that.
I was in the race for quite some time. After Mo Usman lost, I didn't lose a single fight until Cody Durden. So I was right on the same path as Luke, apart from the Thomas Peterson part of it. But restructured my parlay, made some throughout the night, and I was going clean into the Cody Durden one. But Miranda Maverick took down your witch. Don't come to me with cool edits and think that means that somebody's good at fighting. Okay, if that's the case, I'm gonna lay a trap card out for you every week. I'm gonna make an edit on somebody who's absolutely garbage, send it your way, and be like, "Yo, Dan, look at this guy."
You land the jab, and it's like there's flashing colors in the background with cool
music. Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Miranda Maverick absolutely put it on her. She's the shit, just should. There's levels to this game. Miranda Maverick. Dan, what do you even think about betting against Miranda Maverick?
Oh, man. When the fight first started, you see Barbosa. She's like leagues bigger than Maverick. I'm like, this fight's going to be easier than I even thought it was going to be. Plus 190. They're just giving away Monday like KD on Halloween. Wasn't even close. Got destroyed pillar to post all 15 minutes. It was awful to watch. Terrible.
Yeah. Then we had Cody Gibson, Brian Kelleher. Absolutely sensational work from Cody Gibson. He was landing some thudding strikes on the feet before he got that submission. Did you have Brian Kelleher, or did we triple P certify Cody Gibson?
I think we did Gibson, yeah.
Great fight. Love seeing Brian Kelleher get messed up in there. Nothing I really like more, unless it's Anthony Smith, of course. Did you, by chance, Luke, you didn't get to see Emil versus Young Lee? Did you even get to see the highlight of that?
I saw the highlight.
It was rock'em sock'em robots out there, man. They went out there just throwing heaters right at each other, neither one taking a step back until Emil got the job done. Old man in there. He looks like Dominic Cruz a bit with a huge chin. But great work. I did not I thought this would be the skunk at the garden party for my parlay.
Yeah, that was a very Don Fry, whoever the Asian man he was fighting, like moment. They were just going back and forth. Pretty crazy to watch. Yeah, I think I had a little Hyder meal sprinkled in there at plus 170. So for those of you who cashed in on that, good on you. Luke, you're about to hop in a couple fights back. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I just was going to say that. So one of the ways, that I plan on battling back without making that minus 130 get to even a more shameful degree is through free bets. Now, Alex and I got into a bit of a tiff at the barbecue on Saturday because he was really upset that I've been using free bets. And I just want to make it very clear. The point of this competition was, the $1,000, and then a free bet is a free bet. It's like a bonus. It's like, it doesn't count. If you win with a free bet, yes, of course, it goes on top of the money pile. If you lose with a free bet, you didn't lose any of your $1,000. So it's like it's like a reinforcement opportunity. It's like a power up in a video game. It's like a Super Mario power up, So I just wanted to make that clear. Free bets are very much within your rights.
How do you keep getting these free bets?
Well, I'll give you an example. Deposit bonuses are a big way, that they encourage you to get it. So right now it says DraftKings 25% instant reload bonus up to $500 in bonus bets on your next deposit. So in theory, if I put $2,000 into DraftKings, they'll give me excuse me, I'm so sick. They'll give me $500. Now you have to bet with the 2,000, but FanDuel has that loophole we discussed where all right, FanDuel and DraftKings differ in one major way. You make a bet on FanDuel, they allow you to cash that bet out for the same amount you bet for almost an hour, sometimes longer after you've placed it, as long as it's not live, right? So DraftKings is smarter than FanDuel. They've been doing it longer. They're smarter. They're more cutthroat. You put it in on DraftKings. If I place a $2,000 bet on somebody on FanDuel, I could just cash out for $2,000 pretty much instantly, and then they count that as a settled bet. So then I can withdraw my 2,000, and then I get my free bet for free. DraftKings makes you play through with that money. So if I make a bet with DraftKings, it'll be like, yeah, cash out, but for like $1,985. But to me, that's almost worth it because it's like paying $25. Would you pay $25 to get a $500 free bet? I would. Yeah. Pay a little tax just to get an opportunity for a free bet. So of greater value. So right now, 25% instant reload bonus. I think what I will do is, I probably won't put $2,000 in there to get 500 because I don't know what the new rules of DraftKings are. They have a whole new user interface here. I could end up placing, the bet and then they don't let me cash it out, right? So then, like, I don't want to risk that. But guys, there's a lot of fights this weekend that I'm excited to break down. My thinking is, I had 10 cents in my account last week. It was inevitable that I was going to lose and give you both $100 each and then have to go into the redemption island. Alex didn't. Alex didn't put his balls on the line. Betting on a 38-year-old lady with gray hair, that's like saying the guys, like Steve-O puts his balls on the line. No, Steve-O's just an idiot. You know what I mean? It's not risky or courageous or putting your nuts on the table if you're stupid enough to do something really. It's a walk face first into traffic. You walked face first into traffic. We always say, men age like wine, women age like milk in the UFC. And she's a 38-year-old lady with gray hair, and you bet against her. You bet on her. What?
They're the same age.
But Verna is, a lot uglier. And the uglier woman has more to fight for. Okay? Amanda Lemos looks like Halle Berry. She doesn't need to.
And Verna Jandarova looks like Hasbulla.
She looks like Sloth from the Goonies. No offense. But I love Verna. And listen, I actually think in the right light, she looks very, very handsome. So,
Caralho.
But when it comes to the wrestling,
when it comes to them getting in the wrestling ring, there's nothing up there.
Amanda Lemos is all oatmeal north of the eyebrows. Amanda Lemos, Verna Jandarova was always going to wrestle her ass to the ground. Amanda Lemos is frail. She's brittle, has brittle bones. She needs to go to the store and get milk with magnesia. She needs to go to the store and get medicine for her osteoporosis. Amanda Lemos is at risk. So we'll leave it at that. Alex, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to make Dan the winner, and it's embarrassing because it's embarrassing that Dan, who had the most notoriously idiotic lady picks of the last 2 weeks with that new bitch Klein and that new bitch Dion Barbosa, the witch, that new witch. You, Dan, have really fallen in love with these UFC debutantes that are ladies pretty quickly, and you've really encouraged us, sending us videos about them. Like, I watched the tape on this. Oh, you watched the tape, did you? Okay. Like,
First of all, the Klein pick was just that. It was a pick. It's not like I had all these parlays and so much on the line with Klein. I think I had like 2 parlays with her in it. Everything else, I skipped it over or didn't over. So don't be acting like I was all in on Klein. It was a pick.
Yeah.
You have one of 2 options. I picked one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have much to say about last week's card. I'm in the negative. It is what it is. The one thing you can say about the show at this point in season 5, the one thing you can say about the show is that in addition to the open bet sheet, in addition to which, by the way, guys, like I said, I was at a pool day and then I was driving, so I didn't really get to make my open bet sheet. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I mean, I did, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you had one parlay. Yeah. You put the parlay.
I didn't put the $130 bet that had started with that with Kershewski that lost, so that's why I felt bad. But I was driving, so I couldn't do it. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm telling you, you got to take over the show a little bit. I'm fucking sick. I can't have like shortness of breath. Like I'm about to puke. I can't fucking do this.
You keep talking.
Okay.
No. What do you want us to do?
Just gas him out. Gas him out.
I'm like seeing stars because I puked so hard earlier before the show. Like I'm like dehydrated and I'm like seeing stars. Like this is
all right. Should we just get on to the picks then?
Let's transition over to the next week's card.
Yeah, let's stop living in the past. Nah.
No, lady fights suck. I'm glad that we're done with
Cody Durden. Cody Durden. You know, I texted Luke after the first round, and I said, he was like, "Oh, that was amazing. Cody styled on him," and I said, "No, it's not. He's going to get too confident, and he's going to get knocked out. I've seen this story before. Maybe it's just because he has McLovin face. LOL."
Say the thing about Tail of Two Codys. That was a good point. I wanted you to say that on the show.
Dan said somebody had that bit before. So
no, they said that on.
Well, now it's a Tale of Three Codys. Now it's a Tale of Three Codys.
Yeah, just that, you know, one Cody Durden.
You don't watch Dogger Pass.
I don't watch Dogger Pass,
Pass.
but Dan told me it was a bit from the show when I texted it into the group chat. But Cody Durden, you know, he looks sensational. He ends up losing a fight, and then you got Cody Brundage, who looks absolutely terrible during his fights and somehow manages to win.
And the thing I was going to say is that going into the Cody Durden fight, you're like, should I hedge? Should I hedge? And it's like, you know, I didn't think you should hedge because I thought Cody Durden was going to win, but it made me think of something very important. This is the importance. This is the lesson of the week.
Yes.
The lesson of the week is you don't hedge because you think you're going to be wrong. You hedge because you thought you were going to be right? You hedge because you made the parlay. Obviously, you thought this person was going to win, but it doesn't matter. A hedge is not like second guessing yourself. A hedge is protection. A hedge is position over submission, right? We preach that on the show all the time. Position over submission. Position over submission. Well, when you get into position, you have to play the math game. You have to do math. You have to say, I'm not going to lose money tonight. And, you know, sometimes, obviously, you can't do that every time, but sometimes you can. Sometimes you hit it, you know, if I had, you know, bet $10 and all 7 had won, they would have been offering me a significant cash out. I wouldn't have taken it, but I would have bet a partial amount against the rest of the picks, you know, the other 3 or 4 picks. I could have bet $100 on every one of the other 4 picks and would have been fine to risk that, you know. So that's all I'm trying to say. We have a really exciting card to break down. I'm so annoyed with myself that I'm in such poor form right now because this is going to be a great card. It's got 14 fights. I need to bring the energy. I need to raise my levels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get up. I'm going to walk upstairs. I'm going to eat something to get something into my stomach, and I'm going to hopefully come back and I'm going to feel better. I'm going to get some cookies and milk. I think that'll actually help. All right. Alex, do you care if I eat on the show a little bit?
Absolutely. I care if you eat on the show, and I don't think cookies and milk is a good throw-up food.
But it'll make me happy. See, sometimes it's not about what's healthy. It's about what makes you happy, you know? Because right now I'm sad. And it's like I'm going to be either sad and sick or happy and sick, you know? It's not like an apple is going to I'm going to get a ginger chew. I'm going to get a ginger chew that'll settle my stomach, okay?
The fuck is a ginger chew?
Who the hell knows?
No.
A couple things I want to say before we break this card down. Christian Leroy Duncan was originally supposed to fight Robert Bryzik, Dan's boy. Bryzik withdrew. Kalen Lochran was originally supposed to fight Ramon Tavares. Tavares withdrew. And Shauna Bannon was originally supposed to fight Ravina Oliveira. Oliveira withdrew. So that's 3 locals who have short notice opponents. Something to keep in mind. First fight of the night, Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. But we're going to start at the top of the card with Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. No, we'll start at the bottom. What am I thinking? Modestas Bukauskas, Marcin Prachnio. Guys, welcome to the show. It's UFC London. Bilal, UFC 304. No, it's actually Manchester. UFC Manchester, England. UFC 304, Edwards versus Muhammad 2. UFC 304, Aspinall versus Curtis Blades, interim heavyweight championship, undisputed welterweight championship, and Paddy the Baddies here. Guys, this is going to be a great card. We got Makayev versus Manel Cape. We got Rodriguez, RoboCop on the card. Giga Chikazi's back. You know, lots of good fights to break down. I'm excited. I think there's some value here. I think there's some obvious plays and some obvious stayaways. Let's talk all about it. I'm more desperate than ever. A hungry dog runs the fastest. And I'm a dog that's been chained up in the junkyard, kicked, beaten, spit on, peed on. Used to get free lunch. I don't know what that line is from the Eminem song, but we are here to break down UFC 304.
Cheer me up, babe. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Yeah, so we got Bukaki coming off a loss, and we have Prachnio coming off a win against Devin Clark. Last 2 wins previous to that for Mr. Prachnio. William Knight and Ike Villanueva. All right. On the other end of this, what's his face? Modestas Bukauskas. You know, when he loses in spectacular fashion vis-a-vis knockout. I don't think Prachniow is a knockout machine here by any means. He's like a point style karate guy. So I think that Bukauskas is going to have plenty of firepower going in there. All he's got to do is, kind of just be a man and walk through some of this point karate stuff. Take a couple of hits here and there, knowing that you're going to be doing the damage if you're the one walking forward. So I'm going to take Bukauskas. Do I take him by knockout? No, Prachniow is pretty tough. I'm going to go with Bukauskas by decision. Play the over 2.5 if you think it might be dicey, because Prachniow is not getting the knockout here. So I think that might be the safe play. The official pick, Bukauskas.
Yeah, Bukauskas is 6 years younger. I was going to go with Marcin Prachniow until I saw that. Both of these guys have lost to some good talent, and also, Marcin Prachniow has also lost to some shitty guys like Sam Alvey, karate combat champion Sam Alvey. So I guess we should put some respect on his name. And a couple of other bad guys. Don't have it off the top of my head, but I'm going to go Bukauskas here just because of the age. I think he's got more life in his career, but he's coming off of some bad injuries. I know that that's what kind of sidelined him his first go when he came to the UFC, and then he went on that run in Cage Warriors and ended up coming back. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bukauskas here, but it's not going to be very, very confident.
All right, sweet. So our next fight, I think we have
Not so fast.
Super last minute replacement. Luke, you want to give your pick? Go ahead.
Yeah. Without knowing anything you guys just said, it's a ginger chew. Chill. Just take your headphones out for a second. I gotta fucking get the ginger chew out of my mouth. Without hearing anything you guys just said. I'm going Modestas Bukauskas.
Triple P certified.
Really? That's true? Okay.
That's really true.
He looked pretty good in his return back to the UFC against Tyson Pedro. But I kind of actually, now that I think about it, I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking, because, you just look at these two guys and you think, Modestas Bukauskas he's such a chicken jaw, little chinny, get slept so easily guy, and he got knocked out 8 months ago. I kind of think Prachniow can do the same. So definitely a stay away fight for me. I like the odds on Prachniow better. It's only hurting me. Yeah, I'm going with Bukauskas, but I don't love it.
Fair enough. So Molly McCann is out this fight. Shauna Bannon, right? The Shauna Bannon fight. She was originally scheduled for.
No, Molly McCann's fighting Bruna Brazil.
Oh shit, I see that. Okay, who's replacing
Ravina Oliveira?
Oh, okay, I see. That's really last minute. I didn't see that.
Alice Ardaline. If you look at Alice Ardaline, she's 9-5. She's 32. She's Romanian. Free Andrew Tate. This girl fought Weili Zhang and lost second round rear naked choke in top FC 11. She fought Diana Belbita and lost to her in Romanian FC. She's not beating anybody that we know. So I'm actually going to go with Shauna Bannon here. I think that they want to do stuff with Shauna and that they're just bringing this girl in to lose. So give me Shauna Bannon over Alice.
Well, you never heard of Dilia Suyapa with a 0-3 record, her last win? Yeah, I'm going to go with Shauna Bannon here. This strength of schedule is looking pretty bleak. Last 4 fights have a combined record of 5 5 and 8. Not very good. So I'm going to go with the UFC vet. Hopefully, she's in the UFC for a reason. Hopefully. This kind of just came across my desk, so I don't know anything about her opponent, but I'll go with Shauna Bannon. Kind of sacrilegious, but I'll do it.
Shauna Bannon, Triple P certified. Leave
Beautiful.
it at that.
Sam the Future Patterson, minus 350 favorite, 28 years old, 6 years younger than his opponent, Kiefer Crosby. Kiefer Crosby coming off a submission loss to Kevin Jussiette, who kind of looks like Sam Patterson. Before that, he had 2 knockouts outside of the UFC, but both opponents he knocked out have a combined losses of 25 losses. Before that, he lost to 2 opponents who have combined losses of 22 losses. So this guy stinks. He's 34 years old, fighting at 170. He's shorter. He's got an 8-inch reach disadvantage. There's absolutely nothing that you would like about this on paper. The only thing I don't like about Sam Patterson is the line, minus 350. So I'm going to go with Sam Patterson. I think Sam Patterson by submission is the play because this other guy has, a submission loss 3 years ago in Bellator to a guy with 11 losses. And his last fight, he got submitted by a guy with the same kind of frame, build, body type as long neck Sam Patterson. So I'm going with Sam Patterson by submission, Sam Patterson by finish. That's it.
Sam Patterson for me as well.
I agree with everything Lukey is saying here. The line is crazy. I don't think Sam Patterson is all that great. I think he could be a little bit chinny based on that first fight he had in the UFC. He seems like, he's just a stick figure out there. Like a strong gust of wind could blow this guy over. So we'll see what Kiefer Crosby brings to the table. But all in all, I think that Patterson is more dangerous. And again, like Luke said, he seems to be pretty susceptible to submissions. And, Patterson's pretty damn good at that. So I think getting at least a little bit of value out of this one, Sam Patterson by submission is the way to go.
Trophy certified Sam Patterson, Shauna Bannon, and Modestus Bukalkis, all agreement thus far. Oban Elliott versus Preston Pressure Parsons. Plus 130 dog, Oban Elliott. Minus 160 favorite, Pressure Preston Parsons. I'm gonna just, I don't have much respect for Jack Shore, right? Do we have respect for Jack Shore? Let's see, Jack.
Yeah, he's good. I do. He's good.
Yeah, but he just lost to Anderson Brito. He lost to Ricky Simone. He beat Amira Marquani, but who cares? I don't know. I'm not really impressed. He's got a lot to prove to me, Jack Shore. To me, this guy Uban, the Welsh gangster Elliott. You got to remember, guys. Pressure Preston Parsons for him. This fight's as long as he doesn't go there too early and acclimate. Now, okay, actually, I got to know a little bit more about what Pressure Preston Parsons' situation is, because if he is going to London early from Florida and he's adjusting to their time zone, it's going to fuck him up because, he almost should fly in like the day before the weigh-ins and not catch up with his jet lag, because it's going to be, fighting like at a normal 7-8 o'clock, PM time for him based on the way that they're doing the card, right? So because this card starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if he gets there, it's gonna feel like 8 p.m. for him if he doesn't acclimate, which will be an advantage, I believe. For the Welshman, he's gonna be fighting in the morning, it'll feel like for him. So I'm gonna go with Pressure Preston Parsons here. I think that he's smart. I think that he's got tenacity, and if you can get Matt Semmelsberger a win over him, that's more impressive to me than Val Woodburn. Daniel Rodriguez caught him, and Trevin Giles got a split decision win over him. But Evan Elder, undefeated, he beat him, took his O. I'm going with Pressure Preston Parsons. To me, not his losses are two not that bad losses to have in the UFC, and then he's only been submitted once, knocked out twice, one decision. Mike Perry kneed him and knocked him out when they were both 2-0, in 2015. But yeah, it doesn't age well now. But I'm going with. They originally had him scheduled to fight Basil Hafez in January. I'm going to go with Pressure Preston Parsons. He's a little bit more seasoned in the UFC. Oban Elliott only has just but 2 fights in the UFC. 1 fight in the UFC. I'm sorry, 1 fight in the Contender Series, 1 fight in the UFC, and he won his debut. I think this is a correction learning moment for Alban Mercier Elliott.
Give me pressure Parsons.
PPP. It's an omen. Will it be PPP? I think Dan's going to go with Elliott. I can tell by his instant dismissal of the fact that I don't know what.
I got to go with Elliott here. A little bit bigger, younger. It's going to be a grappler's delight. The loss to Trevin Giles pretty recently does not bode well for me. He's got a win off of Semmelsberger, but he can't wrestle at all, so it doesn't really say all that much to me. I just think looking at Elliott, this is his time to shine. He's going to be on home turf. I think his wrestling is probably a little bit better. I don't know. It's really more of an overplay than anything. They're just going to be wrestling each other for 15 minutes. So play it safe. Go with the over. If you want a little bit of action, go with the underdog with Elliott here. That's, I like him, but nothing crazy.
Word up.
Okay. Mick Parkin versus Lucas Bresky. Lucas Bresky, 32 years old, going to be equal in height and reach, but significantly lighter than Mick Parkin. He's last weighed in at 236. Mick Parkin last weighed in at 262 and a half. 4 years older, but it's heavyweight. We don't really consider that as much of a factor. He split decision to Martin Buday, lost to Carl Williams, got knocked out by Waldo Cortez Acosta, and then he just recently had a decision win against Walter Walker, Johnny Walker's brother. But I'm not impressed with Mick Parkin. Mick Parkin, he beat Jamal Puags by decision, Kyle Machado by decision, and Muhammad Usman by decision. I don't know what he's smiling so much about at me in the Sapology picture. There ain't nothing to smile about. You're undefeated 9-0, but you're boring as all get out, and you haven't impressed anybody, and you haven't fought high level competition, and you're kind of fat, and your face is too wide, and your smile is too big, and your head is too square. And something tells me the bull Lucas Bresky could get something fucking going here in this fight. Objects in motion stay in motion, but there's always such a thing as a market correction, and I think that Mick Parkin 9-0, what is he like? He's going to remain undefeated his whole career. He's never going to lose. He could get fraud checked here. Lucas Bresky could win this. I remember being kind of frustrated with Walter Walker, thinking that he was going to beat Lucas Bresky, and he didn't. So maybe that tells me Lucas Bresky's not as bad as people think. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys have to say, but I'm tempted to go with Lucas Bresky here.
No, Lucas Bresky does stink that much. Walter Walker literally threw that fight away. If you remember, that's just the Walker bloodline just being stupid boys. Mick Parkin's going to win this fight. What does the MMA guru say? I don't rate either of these guys. He always says something about rating people. I don't really rate either of these guys whatsoever.
Jacoby.
I don't rate either of these guys. I think they both suck. I think this is a fight that Mick Parkin wins, but I've been plotting on his downfall since he's been in the UFC. I feel like he has lost at least 2 of these decisions that he's won. And yeah, I think he ends up winning this one.
I agree. I think Parkin is going to get that nice shiny 10-0, and then he'll get fraud checked. But he's not going to get fraud checked in this one. I agree with Alex that Luka Bresky is not very good. The Walker fight was horrendous. He almost threw that away when Walker was gift wrapping it for him. And then, the 3 losses before it are just, it makes you want to throw up like Luke right before the show. Cortez, Acosta, Williams, and Buday, and then your win is Calvin Potter. That's your win. Nah, not feeling this. This is going to be a long night because I'm seeing all these fights going long. I think this is going long as well. It's going to be Mick Parkin with his jab, doing a little side shuffle, and doing that for 15 minutes. So we've got a lot of decisions coming up if you want to, go with the overplays here. If you're not man enough to make a pick is Mick Parkin.
I'm tempted to come in on Friday and do a little after the weigh-in show because I think that I'm gonna want to see some of these face-offs and stuff. But I'm going with Lucas Brzeski. I don't give a fuck. My heart tells me to go with Lucas Brzeski here. I think that it's too good to be true for Mick Parkin to in England get a hometown win, go 10-0. It's too good to be true. Is it
Lucas Brzeski, the guy from The Godfather? They say in the very beginning scene, Michael Corleone's wife is like, "Who's that scary man in the corner?" He's like, "That's Luca Brzeski. Like, he does all the bidding for my father." What are you saying, Alex? You're muted.
Luca Brasi.
Luca Brasi. All right, close enough.
I don't know. I've never seen that movie.
Oh. It's something like that.
All right. Now we move into the prelims. Still, for even further, we move into the prelims. Colin Lauren. Like Colin Lauren's name is like a deaf guy trying to say Colin Lochran, you know? Colin Lauren. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. Like, hey, if you heard that and you're deaf, congratulations, you're cured.
That's funny.
All right. So Colin Lochran versus Jake Hadley. I'm picking Colin Lochran. I think it's a pretty easy pick because Jake Hadley, not only is he taking it on short notice, coming off back-to-back losses, but he's small. He's frail. He's thin. He's not going to choke Colin Lochran out. He's not going to even get him to the ground. Colin Lochran's only loss is Taylor Lawless by decision. Taylor Lawless is a fucking beast. He smacked around Angel Pacheco in his last fight. He's a minus 195 favorite. Don't love that, but at the end of the day, Jake Hadley accepts bottom position. Jake Hadley pulls guard. Jake Hadley's frail. Jake Hadley's not strong. I beat him in arm wrestling 10 times out of 10. He weighs 125 pounds, and he doesn't even need to cut weight to do that. He actually weighs in after a full meal. And, he's 5'7". Colin Lochran's 5'6", 135. Cuts to get there probably, or just is the prototypical, he's like me in high school. Best shape of my life. Except he's got a fucking head on him. Like, you know what I mean? He's got a fucking noggin. I think Colin Lochran knocks Jake Hadley out. I think that the UFC matchmakers don't like Jake Hadley. They've never liked Jake Hadley. Specifically, Mick Maynard does not like Jake Hadley. When Jake Hadley came into the UFC Contender Series, he was like being really cocky and arrogant, and he, rightfully so, told Mick Maynard to go fuck himself probably or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, I don't like gatekeepers. I'm not a big fan of gatekeepers. And, if you're gatekeeping, it's like, hey, you don't even fucking know me, bro. I could be the next John Jones. You don't even know me, And by the way, when CM Punk or one of these freaking Fruit Loops comes to play, you roll out the red carpet for them. So you want to disrespect me, a real one with these ears? Nah, I'm not. So I respect Jake Hadley for that. And by the way, everybody, I have Hunter Campbell's cell phone number. I fucking obtained Hunter Campbell's cell phone number. So in the comments, let me know what you think we should do. I'll fucking cold call him right now. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I just got to learn, what the rules are. Am I in a 2-party consent state? Am I in a 1-party consent state? Do I have to let him know he's being recorded? Once I Google that, it's off to the races. I might just put Hunter Campbell's phone number on like a ticker, like do it like this, like Hunter Campbell's phone number. I might just do this. So I got to take a little quick break, but I might. Oh, that's not a ticker. Hold on, let me just do this. Scroll across bottom, save. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break, but we could do that for you guys if you want, or we could do it. I could, whatever is legal. I'm just saying I only want to do legal things. So
if I would guess, I would say Las Vegas probably has it locked down to not have someone be recorded on their phone. I feel like the pit bosses and all the big time players in Vegas do not want things like that, secret recordings going on. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know. Alex, are you going through the legalese?
Yeah, so it is illegal to secretly record an oral communication without the consent of at least one party.
In Nevada?
Yeah, so Luke has my consent, and does he have your consent to record this?
Yeah, but I think it has to be the receiving party.
No, it's just, no, listen to the legal verbiage.
Okay.
It is illegal to secretly record an oral communication without the consent of at least one party. It's called a one-party consent state. Only one party from the conversation needs to give consent, and that is the person recording.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, dude. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. This is not financial advice, but I believe that is what that means. can it be broadcasted? That is a different question.
That's a different question. Yeah.
That's an entirely different question. If we were doing this for what do they say, for training purposes only? We're recording this conversation for training purposes only. Maybe the single party.
Let's fucking call him right now. Let's call him right now.
I call him.
Well, I gotta dig it out. Keep talking.
Okay. Banter.
No, do you have a pick for Hadley?
Oh yeah, he's just too small. He's a 125er. He gets bullied at 125. He's trying to come up against Cowlin Lawren. So I think Mr. Lawren is going to win.
Yeah, I guess we'll triple P certify this one, although I'm quite hesitant. I feel like this is a trap. I don't think Hadley's all that bad, and I think Cowlin Lawren is a little unproven at this point. I like what I'm seeing. He's in his prime. He's got a hell of a good record from Cage Warriors. I'll go with it. Triple P certify. Cowlin Lawren.
You hear that?
Yes. Tell him he's on the show.
What time is it? It's 5:30 Vegas time. I have office line and cell phone.
Try both.
I have the headquarters number. Okay. It went to voicemail. I didn't want his voicemail to be on the thing. So
sound like a woman.
I don't know. What you heard that? What was it?
It just said, "Hey." That's all I heard.
It could have been Mrs.
Campbell,
or it could have been his receptionist.
It might have been, or maybe he has one of those voicemails where it's like your kid. Hey, you reached my dad. I don't know. I just hung up. I didn't want to. Okay. We'll keep trying. We'll try it another time. Okay. So.
Bruna Pazil versus Molly McCann.
Yeah, I mean, Can is in her name. It's telling you right there. McCann. You know what I mean? She's a Can. I'm going for
She's been going through a lot of personal stuff lately.
Like what?
Her and her girlfriend broke up, and her dog died, and her friend died, and her cat died, and
yeah.
This one's for you, meatball.
Yeah, like she's gonna be like, oh, dude, I can see her insufferable.
I went through the worst month of my life.
Oh, Ariel, meatball day. Yeah, dude, I'm going Bruna Brazil, the special one. She's special, you know. She got knocked out by Denise Gomes. She got decision by Luke Bumi. She beat Shayna Bannon. She KO'd Martin McMahon. Say what you want. Molly McCann's not better than Martin McMahon.
Yeah, she is.
They've got a similar style.
I'm going for Brazil. You can't fucking make me bet on Molly McCann. You can't do it. You won't. I won't do it. I'll never do it. Ariel. The thing is Ariel. The thing is Ariel. I can't do it, but wait till I try to do fucking Tom Aspinall's voice later. Oh my god, I'm not going any better at that guy.
Oh, Dumpty Doo.
Dude, I hate it so. Like every time he talks, he sounds like he's about to like put a child on his knee and tell him a tale from the times of old. Oh, little boy, let me tell you about when England was still the ruler of the land. Like he's just crazy, dude. I can't even. Guys, fucking on one, dude. Okay,
Bruna Brazil for me.
Cool.
Molly McCann for me. I'm not gonna get into it.
Dan's like, you're minus 300 favorite. Clearly, she's gonna win.
She is gonna win.
Not seeing that's like the worst value you could ever see on Molly, Molly McCann. She's got a disadvantage in reach, disadvantage in height.
Disadvantage.
What?
You were like, she's got a disadvantage.
All right. Next, we got Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. We're getting into some good fights here now. Every fight after this is good. Every single one of these fights is good. Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. It's Nathaniel Wood all day, all night. Daniel Pineda, kind of a punk. He's kind of like he's kind of like Vince Pichel. He's kind of like Cub Swanson. He's kind of like a lot of these guys. 8 years older at a weight class lower than 155. There's a reason Nathaniel Wood is minus 500. There's a reason that this is a lock. This is like the lock of the card. Obviously Nathaniel Wood is going to win. Nathaniel Wood all day, all night. The only question is how. The only question is how's he going to get done? Because I could easily see this fight going the distance. So I think Nathaniel Wood by decision. He's gone to decision in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights. Every fucking fight, this guy goes to decision. Nathaniel Wood, you couldn't smash a grape in a fruit fight. So, he couldn't crush a grape in a fruit fight. Every single fight he's had in the UFC has gone to decision. Every single fucking one, except the one where he got knocked out by John Dodson. He's got his first 3 fights in the UFC, he got chokes. Darce choke, rear naked choke, rear naked choke. I don't think he's going to be able to get a choke off on Pineda. If you look at Pineda's record, he's got 15 losses, but 6 by decision, 6 by submission, 3 by knockout. Most recently lost by decision to Alex Caceres, who I do rate. So many of his fights have been overturned to no contest, right? No contest in the PFL because of the steroid use, I think, right? No contest no contest against Andre Fili because of an eye poke. And that was Fili's doing, right? Fili poked him in the eye. But lots of decisions, he hasn't really lost by submission since Chaz Skelly knee barred him in 2010. Scott Baer rear naked choked him in 2008. Jae Song Lim rear naked choked him in 2007. That's 3 of his 6 submission losses right there.
How great would it have been if Jae Song Lim got an armbar?
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't even know where these other 3 are, like where these other 3 submission losses even are. I don't see them.
Who knows? Only the Lord does. I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood here. I just think he's way more well-rounded. But Nathaniel Wood, I don't know if I'm getting flashbacks to his fight with John Dodson or just some of his fights where it's gotten a little shakier in the 3rd round for him after he's been styling on guys. He does a little too much styling. Maybe I'm just getting PTSD from Cody Durden, but I could see him suffering a similar fate, going up 2 rounds on this guy and then getting caught with something stupid in the 3rd. I don't think Daniel Pineda is going to be in there for the bell. It seems like he's a bit of a jobman now. He is just in there for the paycheck. If any infractions get done against him, he's looking for the way out. He did it with Andre Fili. He'll do it in this fight, especially in hostile territory. I'm going with Nathaniel Wood here, emphatically. Unanimous decision. It would be the lean that I would go with, but I think Daniel Pineda is going to be looking for a door out the entire time. So maybe Nathaniel Wood breaks his non-finish streak.
Oh, Nathaniel Wood's
no fab streak.
He's going to win. Sorry, I stepped on a joke there, but no. Nathaniel Wood's not going to win. Daniel Pineda's going to win, all right?
He's 38 years old, Dan. He's 38 years old.
He's 38 years of age.
Nathaniel Wood is a bantamweight. I don't know what he's doing at 45. He's a tiny little shrimp up at featherweight. Daniel Pineda is going to walk him down. He's going to have way more power. Nathaniel Wood hasn't really had many finishes at bantamweight as of late. He's not going to be finishing anybody at 145. His last fight, again, up at featherweight, looked terrible for him. I'm predicting more of the same. I don't care if it's in jolly old England, London, Manchester, wherever it's at. Manchester's a shithole. Why would anyone want to live there? We're going with Pineda. Okay, juice him up again. Take the steroids again. You're already 38 years old. Who cares? You probably won't get caught. You'll be fine. Get the job done, Mr. Pineda. Plus 400. Juice me up. Let's go, Daddy.
All right, this next fight is probably my favorite fight on the card. Manel, Starboy, Caparino, Miguel, Manuel, Starboy. Sky walking on these haters. I love Manel Cop. You are my favorite fucking fighter. You are like I mean, I love you. And then you got Muhammad Makayev, a guy who I've been supporting emphatically since he hit the scene. Has disappointed me at times. You know, if you guys remember correctly, the Sheiks told him Sheiks tell me he'd give me $50,000 if I submit him. And he didn't submit him. So that was against who was it? Charles Johnson. Yeah. But then every other fight that he's had, Curdy Durden, rear naked chokes him in round 1. Malcolm Gordon armbars him in round 3. Rafael Filo, rear naked choke in round 3. And then that fight was where I really became a big fan, because he got his knee ripped apart. He didn't fucking tap, and then he finds a way to finish. So scary situation he was in with the knee, didn't tap, really did well, proved he's not a bitch, wants to win more than a lot of these guys in there. Same with Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott possibly up 2-0 going into round 3, and he gets the arm triangle with only 2 minutes left in the fight. Beautiful work. Alex Perez, a lot of people say, oh, Alex Perez won that fight. Alex Perez is a fucking bum in a Mr. Rogers sweater. I'm done with Alex Perez. I've never liked him. None of my homies like Alex Perez. But, he did kind of have a lackluster performance against Perez. But then Perez had a really good performance against Tetsu Taira, won the first round against him. So I think that some people don't really realize that, like,
and
Perez is a hard out. Perez is a hard out. He's a vet of the sport, 32 years old, 10 years older, with 10 years more experience and a shitload more fights than Makayev. So, yeah, he was able to kind of stall his way towards not getting finished. But here's the main point that you want to take away from this. This is a buy low, sell high type of fight. This is a buy low moment for Makayev. Manel Kape does not have wrestling. Muhammad Makayev has amazing wrestling. If what they say is true, and Manel Kape did headbutt him and attacked him and assaulted him and attacked him, allegedly at the UFC PI, if that's true, Makayev is not going to take that lying down. He is not going to let it go. He is going to fucking win at all cost. He's going to be coming in here so pissed. He's going to be coming in here with all of this. You can't attack a Muslim guy like that. You can't attack, a devotee of Muhammad like that and think that he is not going to take that as extreme disrespect. These guys don't like disrespect. You see what Khabib did to Conor when he talked about his dad? Imagine if Conor had assaulted Khabib, right? Imagine that puts it in a whole different category. Makayev is going to be coming in here. He is going to pick Manel Kape up. He is going to slam him on the fucking ground, and he is going to get a rear naked choke victory or a submission victory of some kind. I'm going with Makayev. Makayev by submission or Makayev by dominant ground and pound. It's going to be frustrating because people are going to want to see Manel Kape get the knockout. People are going to be really hyped about Manel Kape. But at the end of the day, there are consequences. If Leon Edwards was given George Masvidal would have gotten the fucking shit beat out of him by Leon Edwards for that assault he did allegedly backstage. You know what I mean? So it's the Punisher. His name.
I don't think you have to say allegedly for that one. We witnessed it on camera.
Alex, there's no, no charges were brought up against him. And you don't believe what your lying eyes see. Okay, but here's the thing: his name's the Punisher, and what does the Punisher say? It's not vengeance; it's punishment. And if you need any more reasons, can I use your line, Alex, that you said in the group chat?
Yeah.
We've had Clint on the show. All respect to Clint, but Clint will tell you on his own Instagram he's down 35 units over the course of this year, right? And lately he's been on the coldest streak of all time. And I saw that he picked Manel Kape, and I said, that's all I need to see. That's all I need to see to ice me off of fucking Manel Kape. As much as I love Manel Kape, I said, and Alex said, Clint's kind of the Clintary in the coal mine, if you will. And hey, Clint, I'm down 130 million units myself. So, it's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm down too, but it's kind of like when, you're at a party and you look around and you go, oh, fuck. I'm at a nerd party. You got to get out of that party, right? So when I picked Manel Kape and I looked and I saw that Clint was picking Manel Kape, I'm like, I got to get out of here. You know what I mean?
Everyone's picking Manel Kape.
Everyone.
Everyone.
I'm not joining the nerd party. Everyone hates Makayev for some odd reason. I love Makayev. I love Manel Kape more. But I'm not going to be a little simp for Manel Kape right now. I'm not going to go with what I want to happen. I'm going to go with what I think is going to happen. And I think Muhammad Makayev wrestle fucks Manel Kape for a while. and gets choked.
And you know, I love
the balls on my mouth.
You love what?
Now, Manel Cop would not appreciate that type of humor.
No, I was doing it to you. You said I love, and I just had it right there to do it quick.
Yeah, but Manel Cop would not appreciate that type of humor whatsoever. Okay,
Nor would Mikhaev.
Mikhaev. So we should tread lightly in this one. We all love Manel Cop around here. Manel Cop is the best, sensational, very interesting character. Does spend a lot of time in Bangkok. Has phenomenal striking, super athletic, super fast, and super powerful. But Muhammad Mikhaev is going to win just because everybody and their mother is picking Cop. And as much as I'd love Cop to win, he is not going to win. There's some bad juju on this fight. He's got a weakness. It's called wrestling. Muhammad Mikhaev is really good at it. The line is – this is the best line you're going to get from Muhammad Mikhaev until he fights for the title. With the new scoring, I can see why a lot of people are going with Manel Cop because, you know, if he lands a few good strikes, it doesn't really matter how long Mikhaev holds him down for that round. But I think that the good strikes are going to be few and far between. I hope not. I hope Manel Cop wins as a fan, but Mikhaev will end up winning, and it probably won't be the most exciting outcome. But it might be like super violent, like the Khabib thing, if he got assaulted in public, like Luke said.
Yeah, I can see him getting the mount and just elbowing the fuck out of Manel Cop. You know what I mean? He's got 6 losses, guys. Mikhaev has 0 losses. Think about that.
Damn, and like 26 amateur fights.
A broken Clint is right twice a day. We're going with Manel Cop, baby. I think people are underrating his wrestling. He's not going to be out there taking him down like Ezekiel Elliott or Tim Elliott, whatever his name is. But
22 amateur wins. He's undefeated as an amateur with 22 wins.
He was fighting fucking nobody. Who cares? Manel Cop is the man. He's got good hips, good enough. Keep this thing on the feet. I see a flying knee. I see a flying knee coming right at Muhammad Mikhaev. How about that? All right. Can he scoop up that knee and turn it into a takedown? Yeah, maybe. But maybe that knee lands and maybe we see a crazy Masvidal-esque knockout.
You know what? I'm changing the fucking rules. I'm changing the fucking rules. You can bet on whoever you want. And I want to bet on fucking Mikhaev, and you're going to fucking not totally certify him, and now I'm not going to be able to bet on him except in my perfect parlay. And I don't like this game anymore.
Bro, he's shredded. Look at him.
The game's over. Dan won. We're just going back to normal. Regular old perfect parlay pursuit. We're here for the picks.
But you have to track. Oh, no. I think the only thing I want to take away is that you can go as negative as you want, and you can be $10,000 negative, and you can bet on whoever you want. I agree.
Okay,
but you have to still track it, and the game still goes on. The game still goes on, but you can bet on you don't have to bet on a trophy.
I think mine will be tracked.
I forgot how stupid Dan is at times, and he's never going to trophy certify anybody good.
I'll
trophy certify the ones that lose.
I'll track my bets in units from here on out. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No. You have to wear the scarlet letter of your losses if you lose. That's the competition remains. The competition remains. The only rule I want to amend. It's an amendment to the Constitution. I want to amend that we can bet on picks that are not trophy certified.
Delete the competition.
If the only way I can get back in the game is doing what I agree with Dan and you on, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the competition. It's like I need to be able to deviate, to diverge.
Luke, if that is the case, you need to delete the evidence that we started with $1,000 because we can't have that paper trail if any of our significant others come on here and see us with zero minus one.
I'm not afraid of women. I'm not afraid of women. All right. By the way, my woman doesn't have a job. I can spend whatever the fuck money I want. I make the money. I make all the money. Okay. I don't fucking need to take shit from anybody. All right. And guess what? If your woman has a job, you're pretty much a cuck. Okay. If she's at work calling some other guy daddy, boss, but it might as well be daddy. She's calling some other guy daddy, boss. You're pretty much, like it's actually worse than being a cuck. Honestly, it's worse because at least like sex is just sex. She's listening to him. Sex is like an hour, right? But a job, that's like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. She sees him more than you.
You're having sex for an hour, dude? What the fuck's your problem?
No, I'm saying max. But it's like
Max, I mean,
if she's at
shit.
some other place, she sees him more than you. It's kind of like when I used to watch dogs. You know, at a certain point, this dog it sees me more than the owner. In some cases.
Some cases.
Who do you think the dog's going to save from a fire? If it's got to pick one, who do you think
Deal
the
or
wife's
no
going to
deal?
save from a fire? The guy who gives her health insurance, or the guy that gives her an ear beating and doesn't do the dishes and doesn't change the toilet paper roll and leaves the toilet seat up and it smells bad?
Valid points.
Never smells bad. He has to have good hygiene for the workplace. He's in a suit every time. When she sees you, you're in fucking gray sweatpants, picking your nose, scratching your ass. Think about that. If your wife has a job, I want you to go in there and yell at her right now and say, "You're cheating on me!" But me, never gonna happen.
I don't give a fuck.
Here anyway. If you love your wife, that's fucking so soft. Like, just let me say this. Like, if you love anybody, if you love your dad, I don't have to say what that is. But if you love your wife, what are you in the Notebook? You think love is real? Let me break it to you guys. Love ain't real. Okay? The only love I have is for my child. Okay? Because God forces that upon me. But other than that,
Here you go. Podcast 101. You don't love anything until you have a child, man. Once you have that child, everything in your whole life changes. You look at everything different in your whole life. What's next? You going to tell me about saunas and cold plungers and jujitsu?
I really think what I will say is Lex Friedman gotta go. Sincerely.
No kidding.
He sincerely has to go. I'm done with everybody who's ever been on Joe Rogan's podcast. Lex Friedman, David Goggins, who else? Jocko Willnick.
David Goggins trying to fight Sean Strickland. What's up with all this? What's going on, boys? Did you see any of this?
David Goggins is like, I'm an old school man. You're on your phone more than my 14-year-old goddaughter, dude. You're fucking a social media influencer. You might as well be what's that girl's name? Any of them.
Charlie D'Amelio, Livy Dunn.
Charlie D'Amelio. You might as well be doing TikTok dances, David Goggins. Get off your phone if you're a real man. I'm a real man. You're a brand. You're a brand. You're a brand. You know what I mean? So David Goggins, quit bickering. Enough bickering and bitching. Oh, I'm an old school man, so what that means is I care what people say about me. That's the message to the kids. That's the message, kids. How about be a duck? Let the water roll off your back. How about sticks and stones can break my bones, but Sean Strickland can never hurt me with his words, only with his fists in the ring. And, it's like, enough. All you do is run and lift weights. Like, what do you want? What do you want him to say?
It's
What's
true.
your body count? Sean Strickland's like, he's like, I want to kill people. He's like, put me in there. All you guys, it's like, he's like, I think that's what it really is. It's jealousy. It's like, man, you were in the military and you had the opportunity. I wish I had that opportunity.
Excuse my language there, but.
No, but I appreciate everything Sean Strickland's doing. I think we should disrespect the servicemen as much as we possibly can.
Not the servicemen, but the influencers.
Did you see him beat the shit out of that Navy SEAL? That was kind of cool. I was like, yeah, thank God.
Yeah, but he wanted it. He signed up for it.
Take him outside and burn every fucking Punisher t-shirt he has, too, while you're at it.
No, I just don't like that David Goggins tried to say that he's an old school man and he's on his cell phone more than just about any high school girl you've ever met in your life. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be on your cell phone. And you can't even own a cell phone if you want to say you're an old school man. That's what I have to say.
Email
My grandma
only.
never owned a cell phone. My grandma never owned a smartphone. Rest in peace. And she's an old school man. So
So we got Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. Oh, wait, Dan, you didn't go through your pick, did you? You picked Manel Kape. Flying knee, knockout, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, because when have you ever seen, besides Ikram Alaskarov, one of the guys from, like, one of these guys, like these Dagestani type guys, when have you ever seen them get knocked out, ever? They never.
He's not from Dagestan. He's from England. That's why he's on the card. He's
I know,
a big Dagestani.
He's a transplant.
He's a transplant. That's like saying Ilya Taporia isn't Georgian.
That's like saying
He's not. He's from Spain.
No, he's from Georgia. He lives in Spain now.
Yes.
He's a
So
Georgian.
Europe has rubbed on both these guys that we're talking about. They're no longer hard.
So what?
They're
You're gonna say Francis?
They are
and
European.
Ngannou?
He's from Portugal. That's not a fighting nation. Portugal?
Who?
Well, actually, I kind of contradicted myself because I was gonna say who's Portugal ever conquered, but then all of Brazil speaks Portuguese. So you know.
What's next? You're gonna say Francis Ngannou is a Frenchman?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Absolutely.
You know, it's the French pussies like Ngannou. Like, come on. All right.
But Gon is a French pussy who hasn't fought in like 3 years for no reason at all. Where the fuck is Cyril?
Cyril Gane's a punk bitch. He's an absolute punk bitch. But you know who else is kind of a punk bitch? Stipe. I mean, you hear Stipe on the Jackson podcast? You hear him on the Jackson? He was like,
Can't
about
hear
it.
him.
I mean, he literally said, yeah, if you can translate for him, he said something to the tune of like, the people who are saying he shouldn't be getting the title shot against John Jones need to stop crying about it. And then he proceeds to say, I mean, I probably would be saying the same thing. It's like, you always are saying the same thing. All you do is sit on the sidelines and cry about shit. All you do is, and it'd be one thing if you cried about it, but he kind of just sits there silently like, oh, my title shot. Oh, my title shot. Oh, my title shot. Oh, my title shot. Cool. We all want things. You've had several title shots, you know? You can't get fucking carried out on a stretcher and then 4 years later be like, you know, it's like I'm cutting to the front of the line. It's like, dude, it's poor form, bad taste.
You gotta respect his record for heavyweight defenses at 2. Or
Yeah,
whatever
right.
it is.
I'm the greatest heavyweight of all time. You have fucking defended it twice. Like, it's because it's not because heavyweight is the baddest of the bad. They're the best we have to offer. They're the worst we have to offer. You're the least skilled division in the entire UFC. That's why the belt changes hands so much, because it's a coin flip, rock'em sock'em robots contest every single time. None of you have any skills. You're all terrible. And Stipe will lose to John Jones, and then he would lose to Aspinall, he would lose to Blades, he'd lose to just about anybody he fights at this point in his career. So
Shout out Tim Sylvia. My
he
champ.
he could barely beat DC. Him and DC both. The only difference maker in those fights were the eye pokes. They both were equally shitty as hell at heavyweight. Fat, terrible, not good, you know? And Stipe's wife, the one who, you know, was feeding him for the Ngannou fight, and he couldn't gain any weight. It's like, dude, that's like being a wife who can't feed your husband and get him big is like being a husband who can't feed your wife's bank account or buy her purses or jewelry or something. You know what I mean? It's like food is to the man from the woman as money and protection is to, you know what I mean? So you got to be feeding him more, you know?
You should write a book for women, a book for
really
potential wives. You really should.
I really should.
How training dogs taught me how to train women.
That'd be great.
There's a woman who wrote a book
about
what is it, Shamu? What Shamu taught me about relationships and how to train men or something like that.
God, man, woman, dog.
Dan, why did you click that? No. I love women. I have a daughter. I have a mother. I have a sister. Mother, sister, brother. I have all of the things, right? Which gives me all the perspective to know, okay, gotta be in the kitchen cooking.
Except a pussy. That's the only thing you don't have, Luke, and that's why you shouldn't even have an opinion.
Raise your hand if you have a vagina. What's that? Luke has both hands up. What's that from? I don't even know what that's from.
Family Guy.
It seems like The Office. It seems like a Michael Scott joke.
It's
from
Will
Family
Ferrell. Will Ferrell in The Office.
Oh, I thought it was from Family Guy.
No, it's Will Ferrell in The Office when they were.
Are you sure that wasn't a Stewie bit? Stewie's really funny.
I wish I had a Stewie drop. I wish I could have a nice Stewie to throw out here.
Oh, what the deuce? Oh my god!
All right, I'm redoing all these. I'm just gonna have Stewie. Say like what
you need Eric Hartman taco hand for when the Brian Ortega and.
But at least we have this one.
I feel like a national bozy bear.
Yeah, that's important.
Why are there mafia posters in the background of that? I literally just noticed that.
It's a board game. Look, you want to see it?
I feel like a national bozy bear.
That has to be in the middle of like a Target or something.
I know. the weirdest thing is that Mafia Vendetta is like a board game in Russia, I guess, because like that's like our like Facebook game, Mafia Facebook game. Remember that Mafia Facebook game where you could get like things by inviting people to be like to join the game.
Yeah, that multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah, my boy Josh was obsessed with that game.
Yeah.
Okay, so 35-year-old Giga Chikadze versus 30-year-old Arnold Allen. I call Arnold Allen fee fi fo fum because every time he talks, he's like it's just all F's. He puts an F into every word, right? Am I right about that or wrong?
I don't know.
He talks like the wind. He's like, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. I'll try to find a clip. Let me hop out. You guys break this fight down in detail. We got to get back to some professionalism here. The ginger chew did wonders, though. Do you guys see how much that settled down my stomach? I was
revitalized you.
One ginger chew, it neuralized me. I'm back.
I think it was better than the cookies and milk you were trying to get.
True, but I'm ready for cookies and milk now. Now I'm ready for some cookies and milk. All right, so Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm going to try to find examples of Arnold Allen talking like the breeze.
All right. I think Arnold Allen's going to get it done. Unanimous decision. He's got way more ways to win. Giga Chikadze isn't really great at grappling. He's very one-dimensional. He's got some excellent kicks. Yeah, he could land that Giga kick to the liver and, stun Arnold Allen. But Arnold Allen's hard body. His dad was on steroids, according to him, his entire life. So some of that HGH had to have gotten into the semen testing pool. That's when you can say, all right, he's got picograms in his blood because his dad was on so much juice it rubbed off. But anyway, Arnold Allen, great everywhere. Doesn't have a single hole in his game. I think who did he lose to recently, Dan? Arnold Allen?
Max Holloway?
Yes, he did lose to Max Holloway.
He also lost to Evloev.
Okay, two hammers, no shame in that. And that Evloev fight was close. And if they didn't call him for that illegal knee, which was legal, he probably would have ended up winning that fight via TKO. So, really, really hate to see that. Arnold Allen is going to go out there and get it done. He's going to destroy Giga Chikadze. Dan, what do you think?
Wait, Dan, before you do that, let me show you. Let me just show you a little bit what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
Hold on. Make this big. Okay. I'm going to show you guys just a little bit of what I'm talking about here. And you let me know if I'm crazy. This is for education purposes only. Okay, you guys see this?
I'm here with England's own. Before you say anything, Mike told me how to wrestle. That's English. We don't wrestle, man. What are you talking about? Listen, come spot like that. I know you said I have to wrestle, but I know how hard I hit. I know how good of a striker I am. I know how to decisions, but I knock people out. One thing.
Okay, hear that part? One thing. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
He was like, one thing. Mm-hmm. He said anything with a TH, he says with an F.
I think that's a common British thing.
But if you can catch him with like a bunch of TH words in a row, like this is like the thing that Theodore thinks is
the thing that Theodore thinks, Ariel.
Yeah, exactly. If you catch him in one of those, get him going, then it's really fee-fi.
It's a real fee-fi fum, yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. Dan, go on. What were you thinking?
Shit. I feel like I could go either way on this one. I was trying to rationalize a Giga win here. I'm still not completely opposed to it. I guess I'll go with Arnold Allen. He could possibly do a little bit of wrestling, just mix things up. He's coming in there with the southpaw stance. I think that might mess up some of Giga's plans with the Giga kick and all that. Both these guys don't really throw at a super high clip, which makes me a little bit nervous that this could just be a toss-up. But I think that Arnold Allen might have a little bit more volume to offer. I think he could throw a little bit more in this fight. So that alone, with a couple takedowns sprinkled in, might get the job done. Not crazy about this fight.
I'm going with Giga. Emphatically love the odds. Think he's going to beat the shit out of him. Think he's the better striker. Think he's going to just do really, really well. It seems like I'm crazy, though, because he's plus 230 underdog at this point. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's 5 years. He's 35. You know, that's that dastardly age. But he's also Georgian. King's MMA. I don't respect TriStar Gym nearly as much as I did in my youth. I think.
What about Faraz Sahabi thinking that he can beat up Dan Henderson if he wasn't on HGH?
Faraz needs to get checked, man. That's crazy, dude. Faraz he's piping off. Faraz pipes off of the mouth way too much, man. You know, that's kind of why I had to stop watching. I used to watch every single one of his little TriStar Gym channel chats, and I really loved it. And I listened to Faraz, like everything he put out, I listened to. Somewhere along the line, he just became insufferable. He became like Lex. He became like Andrew Huberman. He became like any of these guys, you know, just lecturing. I feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for the people who got to be around him all the time because he's got older brother syndrome to the highest degree. I want to hear what Eamon has to say. You know what I mean? I want to hear what Eamon Zahabi has to say. He's the one who actually fucking fights. He's the one who actually made the walk. He's the one who actually does the damn thing. You know what I mean? He doesn't just sit in his fucking dojo or, you know, and spout and, you know, chat shite. He doesn't just chat shite in the dojo. He actually makes the walk and fights professionally. So I want to hear what they have to say. I think that Faraz is almost more respected than George St. Pierre. He certainly talks more than George St. Pierre does. You know what I mean? Like, guys, coaching is like investing in cryptocurrency. Just because you were right doesn't mean that you're smart. Just because you backed the right horse doesn't mean that you're actually good at what you do. You could very simply just have gotten lucky. And you know, it's like, and if that is the truth, then explain all the idiot coaches who have fighters that win. You know what I mean? I mean, explain Tyson Chartier, you know, one of the worst coaches in the world. But he's got a stable of fighters in the UFC. His fighters walk away with less brain cells per capita than anybody. You know,
Barry, you know, he finds the right little girl in his gym to turn into a champion.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Faraz Zahabi's a legend. So is Pat Barry. Legendary coach Pat Barry. Let's just call it for what it is. Legendary coach Pat Barry. You know what I mean? Great mind. Pat Barry, the amazing mind of Pat Barry. Both Pat Barry and Faraz Zahabi have one UFC champion to speak of. Equals, Faraz. Equals you are.
But
you should have steered Roy McDonald away from Christianity and towards Islam if you were a good mentor. You could have done that, and then he would be out here beating the fuck out of people still, instead of fucking crying with his wife and watching The Office. Him and his wife are such an office couple. They're such a like, Steve Carell is so funny, and we just love Steve Carell, and we love Parks and Rec, and we love House of Dragons. I'll bet you Roy McDonald loves House of Dragons now. He loves House of Dragons. He loves Parks and Rec. He loves 30 Rock.
Don't give any strays to Roy McDonald. He's been through enough. He has inner peace now. He doesn't have that fire anymore.
Yeah, you lost that one, didn't you, Rory? Because you were too Christian.
Isn't that the one where he came out after and was like, ever since I found God, I don't have that switch anymore.
That's such bullshit. And you know who else has been saying that bullshit? What's his name? The guy who beat the living fuck out of Bobby Green on Jalen Turner.
Jalen Turner, yeah.
He's out here like saying the same shit. It's like, could have fooled me. Could have fooled me, man. You know? No. God, you know, Jesus came with a sword. Jesus came with a fucking sword. Read your Bible a little more closely. It's violent as all get out, okay? Lots of violence in the Bible. You know, they say thou shalt not kill. They don't say thou shalt not beat a man within an inch of his life. So. What? You guys disagree?
No, I laughed. What?
We add then multiply. I call it.
Sorry. I don't even know. Okay. So what are we doing here? I'm doing Kika Chikads minus plus 110.
Wrong.
Dan, you?
Wrong.
Okay.
Arnold Allen can stand with him, bang with him, and also take the fight to the ground whenever he needs it. He's got a very smothering game. He pushes people up against the fence. He makes them uncomfortable. He tires them out, and he lands a lot of strikes.
He also says V's like F's, though. Movsaw. My last fight against Movsaw Evlev. That's where I first started calling him P555 because he's like, Movsaw Evlev. Yeah. But my point is, Movsar Evlev beat him. Max Holloway beat him. And when he beat Calvin Kattar, it was a knee injury on Calvin's part. Therefore, my point is his last 3 fights were all 3 losses. The 2 wins he had before that were against Dan Hooker, who Dan Hooker sucks ass. Sadiq Yusuf, you know.
I do love that Dan Hooker just started his own rumor. He announces that he's fighting Charles Oliveira in hopes that he gets a fight with Charles Oliveira. Like, he's like, no, I just thought it'd be cool.
Dan Hooker, Israel Adesanya, and Kai Kara France, and throw in Black Jag. They are the Backstreet Boys. They are NSYNC, but only Izzy is Justin Timberlake. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the other 4, you would think that, you know, they pipe up a little too much. They pipe up a little too much. You know what I mean? Hey, where's Kai Kara? Where's Kai Kara? Why isn't he fighting Minnow Cop? Probably because his wife told him not to. I bet he's afraid of his wife.
Definitely.
Like you are, Alex.
Oh, for sure.
And I got news for you. That means you get for you.
All right. What are we doing here?
We're going to the next fight, dude.
I'm the only one who picked Giga?
Yeah.
You're both fucking dead to me. All right. Arnold. Okay. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. This one's interesting. What do you think, Dan?
I'm liking CLD. I'm liking him a lot. I feel like RoboCop, he had his little time this sun. Now he's kind of petering out. I think that CLD is a little quirky in his game plan. He throws a lot of weird stuff. I feel like Rodriguez is very, he's very ho-hum, a little bit. If we're going back to that reference as far as a style, he just kind of moves forward, very plodding. He's good for certain fights, but this one is going to be way too difficult for him. CLD is going to be moving. He's going to be cutting angles, whereas, Rodriguez, he's just got to go in a straight line and hope that his opponent obliges him in that. But, CLD is going to be dancing all around him. I think there's a reason why they shot this one up to the main card. I think that CLD is going to style on him. It's going to be a fun fight. And ultimately, Mr. Christian will get the dub. I think he's at minus 120 or something, pretty reasonable here. So good value, good fight. I like CLD.
Yeah, I don't think RoboCop is peed-adding out at all. I think that he's doing quite well for himself, and I think that this is a great stylistic matchup for him. I think CLD is really good. He will land the crisper strikes from distance, but I think RoboCop is going to smother him. I think he's going to be... I think he's going to be a little bit more girthy in there, a little bit heartier. He's going to be able to push...
Any of size.
He's going to be able to push CLD around, impose his will on him. We've seen CLD give up before. I think it's going to be a similar scenario. I think RoboCop just has a few more ways to get it done than CLD. Although I think he's a great fighter. I think that he's got great stand-up. He's got great shots from the outside. I just don't think RoboCop will give him the space that he needs to land them.
So what I think is you're exactly right, Alex. RoboCop doesn't get knocked out from distance jabs and strikes, and he doesn't. He knows how to dip that forehead in and punt and kind of hit it with the hard part of his head. He gets knocked out close range, like when he got knocked out by
Bruno Ferreira.
Yeah. Which short notice opponent, undefeated guy. Short notice fight, counter left up against the cage in a slugfest, going kind of wild, and got caught. But he's not going to get knocked out with CLD's backing up punches. I think that he closes the distance, pushes him up against the cage, takes him down sometimes, but also just is more, like you said, more physical, more it's a physicality difference, right? It's an athlete versus a powerhouse. And I think that the powerhouse wins. Not to mention, I think that CLD, I take a look at him, doesn't look like a morning person. Seems like a late night kind of guy. Seems like a London streetwear kind of guy, He's out on the scene, bruv, I'm out here. I'm out here doing raps, you know what I mean? In the streets of London, like one of those guys wearing the jacket. I got my jacket, my knife, and he's out here in London streets, at night. So I think not a morning person, but hey, I'll watch his interviews. I'll see if he mentions being a morning person at all. But RoboCop, Florida and Brazil, same time zone pretty much. So his whole life, he's used to this. And, he's probably going to just do really well fighting in a fashion that he's more acclimated to. So I think this could be one of the this is my time zone pick, but also just I think RoboCop is better pick.
Yeah, RoboCop is coming off of 2 straight knockout wins. So I don't know why I said he's petering out. Maybe because he looks like he's 45, even though he's my age. He's 31. But still, I'm going to stay true. Stay true to my pick.
Yeah, his losses, if you look at his losses, he's been knocked out 3 times. Oh, wait. Alex.
What?
Is Jordan Williams the diabetic guy?
Yeah.
Dude, Jordan Williams knocked out RoboCop?
That was a long time ago, right?
4 years ago.
Contender Series, dude. He literally made up the fact that he has diabetes because they were like, what are those syringes in your bag? And he's like, diabetes.
Jordan
Williams win another fight after that.
Bro, Jordan Williams lost to Mickey Gall and Ian Gary by fucking knockout, and he managed to knock out RoboCop. That's a bad. I'm switching my pick. Dan, I'm going with CLD.
Oh, dude. All right, now I'm going to RoboCop because I don't want the fucking kiss of death on me. Every time you switch over to my pick, every time you switch over and I convince you, that's when I lose. So now I'm going the opposite way. I'm going with RoboCop.
All right. Well, whenever Dan comes over and switches his pick and comes to me, I lose. So I'm going.
Let's do it.
No, I'm not.
A shell game with Dan. Let's do a swoop. This is called a swoop and swap. You ever see that Allstate commercial? This is a classic tactic for insurance fraud. It's called a swoop and swap.
No.
Insurance frauding you, Dan. All right. Shit. We're moving into the top 3 fights, baby. The co-main. This is the the
featured bout.
Yeah, what?
It's called a featured bout when it's the third to last.
Yeah, but when it's the one before the title fight, I feel like both of the co-main is the main and the main is the main. They're all the mains, but this is the co-main of the co-main. Bobby Green, Patty the Baddie. It's gonna be interesting, right? Bobby King Green is now king. Tapology needs to update this, or I don't even know who they're talking about because Bobby changed his name. 155-pound matchup, which is under 170, which means the 35 and older rule applies. And Bobby Green is 37. Last time he fought, it was against a guy similar aged in Jim Miller. The time before that, he got absolutely destroyed. The time before that, he caught Grant Dawson with the KO. We know Grant Dawson stinks, absolutely sucks. Clash of heads against Jared Gordon, submitted Tony Ferguson. So he's performed better. He finished Tony. He has finished Jared Gordon, right? He's performed better against the same type of opponents as Patty the Baddie, right? But what I think this fight's gonna come down to is, I've seen Patty's muscles. He's in pretty good shape right now. I think that if he can just get to Bobby Green, he can get Bobby Green to the mat. And I think that he can, if he can do what he did to Tony in that first round to Bobby, I think he can possibly Jalen Turner him, TKO him on the ground, get the ref to pull him off. He's the hometown guy. He's going to have the crowd on his side. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for Patty the Baddie to fight. I'm back on being on Patty's side. Last few fights, it's been hard to really like him. It was hard to like him with the Jared Gordon fight. It was harder to like him with the Tony Ferguson fight. But I'm going Patty the Baddie. I'm going Patty the Baddie by a finish. I just can't take a guy 8 years older, over 35, in the lighter weight classes, and a guy in Bobby Green who, if Drew Dober can knock him out, that's scary to me because Drew Dober he's kind of stinks. No offense, but he's not a scary, guy.
Well, there is something particular that Drew Dober does very, very well, and Bobby Green fits that prototype. Okay, so I'll leave it at that.
What I will say is I like Bobby's activity. In the time it's taken Patty to fight twice, Bobby Green has fought 6 times. Let's see. Yeah, 6 fucking times. In the time it's taken Patty to fight twice, he's fought 3 times as much, and he's only lost twice of those 2, and just Jalen Turner and Drew Dober. His other losses, Islam Makhachev. Other losses include physique,
and Drew Dober's great.
poison.
What are you talking about? Drew Dober is a knockout artist.
I know, he's just not scary.
He was losing that fight too. Drew Dober was losing that fight. He was getting styled on by Bobby Green and then caught him and knocked him out.
That's what I'm saying. He's not scary. He's just he's a punching bag. Drew Dober, slow, stiff. He's stiff as a ball. And it's snap him in half.
Dan, what do you think about this one?
So this is my Mikhaev cop fight because I feel like everyone's going with the green, and this is where you got to go against the grain a little bit. I'm going with Paddy Pimblett. I think he will get Bobby Green down to the mat at some point. Not even down to the mat. I think it just takes his back, even like standing. Like he's not a traditional wrestler, but he finds his way into positions that are advantageous to him. He finds people's backs, whether it's trips or, you know, non-conventional ways of getting to the grappling. I like the fact that he is looking shredded. He is looking like he's kind of like turned the corner in his career, becoming a little bit more professional. I think that's going to pay big-time dividends. I think he's just hitting the peak of his career at this point. He's going to be running downhill towards a title shot, towards title contention. It starts with this Bobby Green fight. Everyone's thinking, oh, Bobby Green and the striking, the boxing. Nah, it's not going to come to fruition. I'm liking Paddy Pimblett on home turf.
And here's the thing, man. Paddy the Baddy, not a morning person. For sure not a morning person. Kind of a little punk, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the biggest concern with me is Paddy Pimblett's size. I think he's going to be a lot bigger than Bobby Green, and that might make it easier to get the takedown. But, guys, Bobby Green doesn't get taken down a lot. And I don't necessarily know how Paddy Pimblett's going to get it there. Maybe tries to get like he does those, you know, body lock, judo throws, things like that. Like I just can't see somebody as, you know, seasoned as Bobby Green getting judo thrown against the cage to his back and armbarred, or judo thrown and triangled, or anything of that nature. Bobby Green, I feel like he doesn't really get subbed all that much. He got subbed by Islam, and he got subbed by who? Arman Sarukian, maybe.
He got 13 losses, and 2 of them are by submission. Yeah, one of them is obviously Islam. We know that. The other one is by David Mitchell in 2009, toe hold round 1, brawl in the hall, Tachi Palace fights.
So this guy doesn't get sub much, and you know Islam's got a different type of strength and a different grappling style than these traditional jiu-jitsu guys. Paddy's more of a jiu-jitsu guy, judo guy. He doesn't have the takedowns that it would take to get Bobby Green down. I don't think it's going to happen for Paddy here. But like I said, the only thing I'm really worried about is the size. If he's really just tossing Bobby Green around in there, then I guess that's what it takes. But Paddy's there to get hit. He keeps his head on the center line a little too much. Bobby Green's very elusive. He's got very fast feet. He can work his way out off. He can work his back off of the cage very well. Really, really slick takedown defense. Doesn't get taken down too much. I think he puts it on Paddy. Probably wins this by decision. Probably it's going to end up being a close decision. I mean, I think the one we just broke down, CLD versus RoboCop, is going to be a split decision for RoboCop. It's going to be pretty close, but I think Green ends up pulling this one out, and if he doesn't, it's going to be a robbery. And you know that might happen. He might sit there and win all 3 rounds and then get robbed. I think Green has the exact fight style it takes to beat Paddy Pimblett, no matter how old he is, because it doesn't seem like age has really affected him to this point in his career.
Mm-hmm. So you're taking Bobby Green?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dan,
and I don't see Paddy Pimblett having the pop to put him away.
Paddy Pimblett.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Alex. I mean, it's kind of I feel shitty about it because I would rather see Bobby Green do what he did to Grant Dawson, you know, and others in there. But he looked great in the Jim Miller fight. But I don't know. Something just tells me we're going to see a better and better version of Paddy each time out.
Paddy said on MMA Guru, the reason Jim Miller lost to him is because he wanted that 300K and he didn't want to take him down. I'm going to go out there and take him down. I don't give a fuck. I want to win. He's been talking a lot of shit. Yeah. So we know Paddy's game plan. If that doesn't end up working, what happens then? Then he's just getting shot up at range by Bobby Green for 3 rounds.
All right. And with that, we move on to the co-main event, the heavyweight interim championship. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Razorblades. Curtis Razorblades coming off that win against Johnson Almeida, hammer fist finish. Before that, he got knocked out by Sergey Pavlovich, who, you'll remember, Tom Aspinall knocked out in his last fight. So, common opponent. One of them got knocked out by him in a year and 2 months ago, and 8 months ago, that same man knocked out that man. So, but that being said, Curtis Blades finished Tom Aspinall in a fight that I picked Curtis Blades to win. Curtis Blades did win. A lot of people call controversy. I don't really give a fuck. But what I will say is I've seen a surging Tom Aspinall. I've seen a better Tom Aspinall. I've seen what I need to see. When it comes to Tom Aspinall, I've seen what I need to see in order to give him the respect he deserves. 7-1 in the UFC. No easy task. Even though some of his wins are Jake Collier, Alan Baldo, Sergey Spivak, Andrei Arlovsky, really only has a good win against Volkov and Pavlovich. Meanwhile, Curtis Blades, you'll remember, also has a win against a one Volkov. Right? Yeah, Alexander Volkov. Yeah, he beat him. Dan, you remember that one? I think that was your perfect parlay. So look, I'm going with Tom Aspinall. I'm notorious for this. I picked Pereira to beat Izzy, then I picked Izzy to beat Pereira, right? I mean, I pick these things. I find a way to say, okay, this guy got to win this time, but he's not going to this time. So that's how I see this one going. Tom Aspinall, he won me over when he said he was dunking his hands into the petrol. An old gypsy trick, he said. All I need to know is that you're using some sort of magic, some sort of gypsy magic, like Tyson Fury or like Alex Pereira, and it's going to make me give you a look. So Curtis Blades is too chinny. Tom Aspinall is going to overload his brain with possibilities. Tom could take him down and submit him. Tom can knock him out. I think Tom kind of wins this fight anywhere, and I think he does win by finish. So Tom Aspinall for me.
I'm going to go with Curtis Blades to take the interim championship. I think that he won the first fight with good reason. I think that Tom Aspinall might not be as hardy as he looks, guys. He's eating, ham and stuff in England. They have ham and potatoes and porridge. That's not enough. That's not enough of a diet. Curtis Blades has been fed well his whole life. He probably could have played football if he wanted to. Look at that guy's body. He's amazing. He's training at elevation. Tom's at sea level, where Tom has never been past the first round. I don't even think in his career, right? Has he ever been past the first round in his career ever? I know in the UFC he hasn't, at the very least. I think if this gets past the first round, Curtis can take him into some deep waters. Curtis is going to be there for all 5 rounds. And he does gas a little bit. He did that against the Alexander Volkov in that one fight where it started getting hairy for him in the last round when he was kind of dominating all 4 rounds before that. But I think Tom Aspinall has the same body type as him and will get just as tired, where Volkov is like a long, lanky guy, doesn't have as much gastric acid build up in those big, thick muscles. So I think Curtis is going to take him into deep waters. Tom Aspinall might come in a little bit more hesitant because last time they fought, he had a brutal injury in the first, 45 seconds of the fight. If his body can't hold up from one Curtis Blades kick, what's it going to do after 5 minutes of Curtis Blades coming at you? I think Curtis Blades wins this fight and wins it more dominantly than the first one. Beats him way more firmly, way more convincingly, takes home the belt. This is everything for Curtis Blades, right? He hasn't gotten a title opportunity. He's always been knocking on the door. This interim belt for him is the championship, where Tom Aspinall is looking other places. He's worried about John Jones. He's worried about Stipe. He's worried about Alex Pereira. He's not worried about Curtis Blades right now, and Curtis Blades is going to get the jump on him in his hometown.
Man, you're convincing me.
No, that first fight was Lukey fluky. It's not going to happen again. We're going to go with Tom Aspinall. I think he knocks out Curtis Blades. I can see it kind of like the Derek Lewis. It's an uppercut coming in on the takedown. Even if he does get taken down, I could see him sweeping him, or at least just, getting a scramble going so he gets back to his feet. If it goes 5 rounds or, over 3, Tom Aspinall's not a big fatty. He'll be out there. He'll have good enough cardio. He'll be fine. Hand speed is going to be ridiculously faster. I think he destroys Curtis Blades. I don't care what happened in the first fight.
Hey, something interesting. Curtis Blades only 33 years old. You would think that he's like 38. He's only 33.
been in the game a while.
Yeah. 13-4 in the UFC.
And who's the only guys that knocked him out? Derek Lewis. Most
Ngannou.
knockouts in UFC history.
Ngannou twice, Pavlovich and Lewis.
Yeah, so some of the hardest hitting guys that you'll see, and Tom Aspinall did beat Sergey Pavlovich, but that was more gypsy magic. That was a little gypsy magic on that one.
Man, so interesting that. All right, so you guys ready to break down the main event?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Are you ready to move past Tom Aspinall?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because I have an old saying my father taught me. He's my coach, My father's my coach,
You ever been fingered by a fighter?
All right. Bilal Muhammad, remember the name, Leon Rocky Edwards. Bilal Muhammad is 23-3. He is the plus 185 underdog. He will stand 3 inches shorter with 2 inches less of reach. He is training with Khabib most recently. He's training with the Dagestani boys. He's getting his ass beat by Khabib, by Islam, by all these guys.
He was in Chicago on the Countdown show.
He was in Chicago. And here's the thing, guys. He's fighting for more than just Chicago and the UFC, but he's fighting for Gaza. He's fighting for Palestine. No, but for real, he actually did help a family get to America, and it made me cry. It was very sweet what he said. It was a 2-year-old boy. I have a 2-year-old. He had a 2-year-old boy, and the 2-year-old boy got his fucking leg all fucked up from Gaza. And the Israelis, and they were doing their thing and shooting the bombs. And all. I don't want to get into politics, but he was helping him, and he got him a toy. Go watch the Instagram video that I saw. I don't know what happened, but he basically was helping him. I don't know if he adopted him or he got him and his dad over here and married the dad. I don't know what happened. I have no idea how he got him citizenship, but he helped these guys out. He was crying. He was emotional. He's fighting for more than just a UFC world title. He's fighting to bring awareness to Gaza. So all respect.
Right, a righteous cause as far as my money goes for.
Listen, I'm neither here nor there, but I just think I love children and I don't want any children to get hurt. So here's the reality.
Whoa, pause, dude. You shouldn't really love children.
Alex.
I'm just saying, I don't love children. I respect them.
Okay, so Bilal Muhammad, the UFC is really fucking him. They've been manipulating him from the get-go. They don't want no boring Bilal as champion. That's why they waited until he's going to be exactly 36 years old in 2 weeks when this fight happens. They've been stalling him, waiting, because they want him to be just old enough so that statistically, Dana White, gambling man, statistically, he just wants the odds to be in his favor. He wants to keep a champ in Leon Edwards from England. Leon Edwards, he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast by this point. Here's my thing, right? Since the Bilal Muhammad eye poke 3 years, 4 months ago, what has happened? Well, Leon's almost gotten knocked out by Nate Diaz. He almost got decisioned by Usman, so he put off that head kick. Then he took another close-ass fight to Usman. It was a majority decision. And then he took Colby Covington to decision. And Colby Covington looked like absolute fucking shit in that fight. And even Colby Covington making fun of Leon's dead dad, saying he's burning in hell, Leon still couldn't muster up the fucking chutzpah to knock his ass out. Colby Covington, broken foot, still couldn't muster up the chutzpah to knock his ass out or finish him. Leon Edwards also got taken down by Colby Covington in round 5. He was on his ass all of round 5. You want to say he took that round off? Yeah, Leon does that a little too much. He takes off too many rounds, He gives up. He cries. From Jamaica, not a morning person. Nobody in Jamaica is a morning person, okay? So I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm taking Bilal Muhammad. He's on every fucking he's
injected in his asshole. He's injected in his asshole. He's in his ass. Excuse my language there, but
Bilal looks really good, guys. He looks
excuse my language there. He said ass.
Asshole.
Whatever.
in his asshole.
Well, back in the day, the FCC, they wouldn't let you say asshole on TV, but they'd let you say ass. It's because of the imagery, Daniel. The imagery.
No, it's because ass can mean donkey, but asshole is
only an asshole.
Nudity, sexual. So here's the thing. Not sexual for me. Sexual for these freaks. These freaky bulls. Okay, so
Danny Diddy party.
If you look at Bilal, it looks like he's got the right kind of doctors. It looks like Ali Abdelaziz, Khabib, all these guys are like, brother, here what you need first for your title fight, brother. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna go out and say it. He's all jacked up, don't know what to do, dude. He's fucking big. He's thick. He is going to be the CEO of EPO, allegedly. I think. I'm just kidding.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
So, allegedly I don't even exist, but I believe that Bilal Muhammad resembles the kind of guy who's doing all the right things. And I'm libertarian when it comes to drugs. So I think, let these guys do whatever they want. But I think he's going to be all gas, no brakes. I think he's going to get Leon down in 3 of the 5 rounds and smother him like he did Wonder Boy. He's going to be on top. He's going to be hitting him with a little hammer fist. It's going to be boring. It's going to be a boo fest. And I'm taking Bilal Muhammad. And I'm taking him by decision.
Give me Bilal Muhammad as well. I thought I'd be the only one, but he has been looking yoked up. I like, he's got Khabib in his corner. Everything that Luke said actually reinforces what I was thinking going into it. I totally forgot about the Covington fight, how lackluster that was. Listen, the headshot dead thing, that was great for him, but it's also bad for him because it reinforces that he could just take off 4 rounds and then win the fight the 5th. He probably can't. Not against Bilal Muhammad. He's going to be making this a dirty fight up against the cage. I don't know, man. I think, if I were to do what I would want to do, I'd bet on Leon. I'd be at the end of my parlay. I wouldn't hedge out, and then Bilal would win, and I'd be pissed. And I don't like Bilal to begin with, so I'm just going to go ahead of the curve here and know that Bilal is going to piss everyone off. But he's not going to piss off me because I'm going to be having him in my parlay, and I'm going to win money, even if I'm not the biggest fan.
Boys, if you want to put up perfect parlay, you got to come with me on this stuttering parlay. It's Curtis and Leon, okay? Those are the 2 guys that are going to give me all of my riches back and put me right back in the game. Leon Edwards, he is good everywhere. He's amazing. He's been preparing for wrestlers for the past 5 years, it seems, with all the Hamzat Chimaev fights that got rebooked during the pandemic and even fights before that. He's been preparing with one guy in mind the entire time. He's been in this division ever since that guy beat him the first time, Kamaru Usman. Ever since Kamaru Usman fucked him the first time, all he's been thinking about is, I need to fix my wrestling. And it has improved leaps and bounds. He looks like D1 Doho Choi out there. He's got a new and improved wrestling game. He's taking Kamaru Usman down. The first guy to ever take Kamaru Usman down in a fight. Colby Covington couldn't even do that. I think he took down Colby Covington, too, in their fight.
Yeah, actually, I'm watching round 5 right now. He took Colby down, took his back, and then it was Colby who actually turned into him and got on top. While he was going for a triangle. Armbar. So Colby escaped that and ended up finishing the last 3 minutes of the fight on top.
Yeah. And was landing some good shots, but, he already lost the fight.
No.
He landed some good shots in there, Colby, when he was on top. I mean, enough to win the round, I would say, by my estimation. Anywho, Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards has been preparing for wrestlers for the longest time. Bilal Muhammad isn't really going to show him anything he hasn't been preparing for. Sure, Bilal Muhammad looked sensational against Sean Brady when he made Sean Brady come all the way to the Emirates just to get a little Aldo dust in his drink and looked smaller than a 155er in there against Bilal Muhammad. Sure, that happened. Yeah, whatever. But you know what also happened? Bilal Muhammad got his fucking ass kicked by Leon Edwards for a good round and a half before he got his eye poke and found that door. Then goes on the post-fight show to talk to Bisping about how hard it is, how he could never fight with his eye so compromised when Bisping only has one eyeball and won the championship with one eyeball in his eyeball. Bullshit. Right. Bilal Muhammad is a quitter. He's a coward. He is a pussy. And I hope, I pray, I'm praying to the same God as you, Bilal, and I'm praying that you get knocked out. And that's all I want. I want that big ass nose broken. I want it bleeding. I want that eyeball out of your head via punch. I want it to get punched out of your head so you have a reason to cry.
I'm switching. I'm picking Leon. You're 100% right. And actually, all I needed to do is just click through the Colby Covington fight.
I want him to hit him in the eye like Doho Choi hit fucking homeboy Bill Algeo in the eye. Where Doho Choi hit him in the eye so hard, Bill Algeo went, oh shit, and went into a fetal position and took 3 more on the bottom. He broke his orbital, 1 punch. I want Leon Edwards to break his orbital and show him what a hurt eye really looks like. Or just, a spinning round kick and make him, split his retina like Vitor Belfort did Michael Bisping. But, I can only dream so much.
When Bilal went in there with Leon the first time, I remember thinking, Leon looks like he's on fucking horse pills. He looks like he's on fucking
Leon Edwards came in more jacked than ever. And now he's kept up that same physique. I mean, ever since. I mean, he looks like the biggest guy ever when he's in that cage. There's no body
thick as fuck during
There's not a single body better in the UFC than Leon Edwards, I don't think. The way it's sculpted, the size.
You talked me into it. And honestly, the only reason I was just thinking about it, I was like, Bilal's just going to kind of refuse to lose. And Leon seems like not a morning person and is like been carrying the weight of the title for so long, and maybe we'll see a better Bilal and a worse Leon from like doing interviews, world tours, things like that, being on the Joe Rogan podcast, shit like that. But no one cares about Leon still. No one's asking for his attention. No one's demanding his time. He is still training just as hard, and yeah, Bilal's a shitty striker, and he had an unimpressive performance against Gilbert Burns, and he hasn't fought in a while. And while he's been waiting for this opportunity, it's been a year and 2 months. You take a year off, you're fucked.
Gilbert Burns took that super short notice too, right? And ended up winning a round or something, or tore his shoulder.
He hurt his shoulder. Yeah. I'm getting an ad for the college I went to on my fucking social media on Tapology right now. I'm getting a banner ad for the college I went to on Tapology. What? How dumb? Like, yeah, I'm gonna go back. And that's what they're pitching. There's a blue-haired girl painting a picture, and it says, go to the liberal arts school. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. All right, yeah, so I'm going with Leon Edwards too, Alex. Rocky Edwards. Let's go through our full picks top to bottom. If you're rocking with me, Leon Edwards, Tom Aspinall, Patty the Baddie, CLD, Giga Chikazi, Muhammad Makayev, Nathaniel Wood, Bruna Brazil, Cowlin Loughran, Lucas Brzezinski, Preston Pressure Parsons, Sam Patterson, Sean O'Bannon, and Matestas Bukauskas.
All right. And if you're rolling with me, you're going with Bukauskas, Bannon, Patterson, Parsons, Parkin. Whoa. Whoa. Too many P's. Loughran, Brazil, Wood, Makayev, Allen, Rodriguez, Green, and then the stutter and parlay of the night, Curtis Blades and Leon Edwards, baby. Come on.
Dude, all right, rocking with me. We got Bannon, Parkin, Patterson.
What about Bukauskas?
We're getting there.
Oh, sorry. Well,
they just changed the order.
Doing it all out of order?
No, you guys are late. Tapology just updated. Cop, Elliott, Bukauskas, Loughran, Dan.
Are you shitting? Hold on, sorry, Dan. I just typed all Alex's picks in that order, and now it's gonna fuck me like that. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Pineda.
Hold on.
Whoa. Miss Lippy.
Top Makayev got moved to the prelims? Was it
always? No, I literally just pulled up Tapology right now. This is the order I've got.
Because when I did Alex's, I just did them by fucking first initials. Now it's going to be so fucking confusing. I'm going to need Alex you to run through yours again.
I'll run through them again. Don't worry.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Dan. Bottom to top.
All right. Bottom to top. We got Sean
right, hold on.
Holy fuck. What?
All right. I was just kidding. Go.
Sean O'Bannon, Mick Parkin, Sam Patterson, Manel Kopp, Oban Elliott, Bukauskas, Colin Loughran, Molly McCann, Daniel Pineda, Arnold Allen, CLD, Patty Pimblich, Tom Aspinall, Bilal Muhammad.
You said Pineda, right?
Yeah.
And then you're with Patty and Aspinall and Muhammad.
Yep.
All right, Luke, ready?
Yeah, you can just go bottom to the main card. I got everything from. Or never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sweet. One more time for the boys back home. Bannon, Parkin, Patterson, Mikhaev, Parsons, Bukakis, Lauren, Brazil, Wood, Allen, Rodriguez, Green, Curtis Blades, and Lila Leon Edwards.
Beautiful. And Triple P certified picks are going to be let's see. I haven't found one yet. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, wow, not a lot of agreement. Oh, Calvin Valkyrin is Triple B certified. Modestus Bukauskas is sadly Triple B fucking certified. That's Sam Patterson is Triple B certified. And
Bannon.
The worst fucking fighters of all time are Triple B certified. These are the worst.
Parsons too, if you didn't get that.
Parsons is not. Dan's taking Elliott.
Oh my gosh, you're a freaking moron.
I guess I could kind of make. I'm gonna make Mick Parkin Triple B certified. I'm gonna go with Mick Parkin, PPP Parkin. In England against the Polish guy Lucas Brzeski, Turbine undefeated. I'll switch my pick here and now to Mick Parkin. Parkin, Patterson, Bukauskas, and Loughran, and Bannon. Parkin, Patterson. Bannon, Parkin, Patterson, Bukauskas, Loughran. Those are the 5 Triple B certified picks. Is that fine? Are you guys comfortable with that? Me doing that?
Yeah.
I wasn't really picking Lucas Brzeski for a particular reason. I mean, he did beat Walter Volker, right? That was the thing, right? But I don't know. I don't like any of it. My favorite picks are going to be CLD, Muhammad Mikhaev, and Sam Patterson. I think those are the, you're right about Wood being kind of small. I like the best dog, I think, is Gikic Kotz. And Patty the Batty. I like the odds there too. I love Blades for a dog pick. He's being disrespected, I think, But all right, guys, it was nice doing the show with you. Thanks a lot. I'm glad I overcame my sickness. I'm sorry that I'm sitting here with negative. I'm sorry Alex is at 0. I'm sorry Dan's at 352. We just did this for you guys, you know what I mean? And we're going to keep charging forward. And it could be pretty embarrassing or it could be pretty glorious. And you're going to be here to bear witness to it all. Join the Patreon account. We'll give you the open bet sheet there. That'll tell you what we're betting exactly this week. And that's how you can support the show. We don't put ads on the show. We have over 1,000 subscribers. We could get 5 pennies a week, but we don't. So, and we don't like ads. I'm not doing ads. Hamza Chimaev, he got involved in that crypto thing. And then he came out and said, "Oh, I don't know anything about it. My manager just tells me what to say and I say it." And then it's like, dude, that's not any more ethical than if you did scam people. If you're vouching for shit you don't know anything about, that's just as bad in a lot of ways. So we're not going to be vouching for Tide or Toyota or any of these things. We're only vouching for, we come here, we make fun of these fighters. We tell them how it is, warts and all. And we tell you how it is with life, give you good life advice. And we're always out here. We're always watching. We're always getting involved. We're always touching these guys. You know what I mean? We're always putting our hands on these guys. We're always, they never know. They never know where it's coming from. And they say, you talk shit on us, come say it to our face. We give them the chance, but they don't, I don't know where I'm going with this, guys. I love you. I threw up a lot. I got to go eat. My stomach's rumbling. Thank you for joining the show. And we'll be back. We'll be back with more ammo and more weapons. Thank you, everybody. We love you. Take care.